It is your boy T with another Have You Seen That with T movie review, and today I'm reviewing Anyone But You. And if anyone knows me, they know I love a good romantic comedy, and this is one of the final romantic comedies of the year. And this one has been on my radar for about 2 months now, and I was really looking forward to it because the previews look really funny, and it stars Sydney Sweeney, who will be starring in Madam Web next year, and Glenn Powell from the Top Gun Maverick fame. And they play two mid 20 something year olds who have like a one night thing. And like every episode of Three's Company, all of the hijinks always start from a miscommunication, right? Somebody overhears something that they shouldn't have overhear, and that leads to these two kind of disliking each other. Her sister and his best friend end up falling in love with each other, and they decide to get married in Australia, which bring those two back together, and they kind of just show this disdain for each other. Of course, underlying because they both had a great time with each other and it just didn't work out, and they kind of were feeling each other, but now it's that thin line between love and hate. So now they hate each other, right? So they're just going at each other and just ruining everybody's weekend. Up until the point where both of their exes show up to this wedding as well. And then they pretend to be a couple in order to win their exes back. And of course, in romantic comedy fashion, hilarity ensues. And that's where this movie really has its strengths, in those two chemistry hating each other. The scenes where they're doing things to annoy each other are hilarious, right? They have real good chemistry. You could tell there's something there, but in their hatred, the things that they're doing, the things that the families are doing to kind of get them together are hilarious, right? All of the characters outside of the main two characters are fantastic in this movie. Alexandra Shipp plays one of the brides in the movie, and Brian Blair, yeah, I think that's his name. Brian Blair is in this movie. I don't think that's his name. It's Brian something or other. He's an Australian actor. Michelle Hurd plays his wife. She's fantastic in this movie. Dermot Mulroney is in this movie as the father, and like all of these guys, everyone around them are fantastic. Both of these actors, Sydney Sweeney, there's something about the way she speaks when she's just having a conversation with someone that just threw me off. Her acting, it almost sounds like her voice is being dubbed instead of actually words coming out of her mouth when she speaks. It's weird. Like, you have to see the movie to understand what I'm saying. And then Glenn Powell, while he's this like chiseled human being of a man, every time he talks, it's almost like he's forcing himself to be human. It's really weird. You have to see the movie to understand what I'm talking about. And it's only in certain scenes where they just look awkward, where they're having small talk. But like other scenes where they're doing like the physical comedy, and those comedy bits are perfect. All of the physical comedy in this movie is just on point, right? The heart, and of course, at the end of every romantic comedy, there's this huge grand gesture, and there's this huge run into the train station, the proverbial train station in this case of the movie. But it all works for me. I enjoyed the movie. I laughed a lot. Everyone in the theater laughed a lot. It was fun. It kind of like, there's this thing in new age comedy movies. If they show females genitalia, anything upper, lower, they're going to show dudes too. And I think that's hilarious. I don't know why. It's something I've noticed in a lot of movies. If they show a female's breast, for instance, they're going to end up showing something on the dude. And it never fails in any of these new age R-rated. And this one, I think, was it couldn't have been PG-13. There was absolutely part, nudity in this movie, male and female. Spoilers. There you go. But that aside, it was just a funny movie. It really was. Like, those two had really good chemistry with each other, whether it be the hate portion of it or actually falling in love portion of it. They worked really well against each other. And Glenn Powell, man, I really do think if he fixes the mouth thing, he looks like the Joker when he talks sometimes. the way his mouth does this weird thing. But I think he has a huge future. And of course, Sydney Sweeney is going to be in the Matter Web next year, which is going to bomb. But I hope the stock of the people in the movie doesn't cause the movie to bomb, other than Dakota Johnson, who, another story for another day. But Anyone But You, definitely a must-see romantic comedy. If you love romantic comedies, that's exactly who the movie is made for. People who love romantic comedies, right? Because it was, put out right before Christmas, I think that did it a disservice, because not too many people are going to go see this when Wonka's out, Aquaman's out as well. So, if you want to take your girl or your wife or your husband out on a date night, this is definitely a great date night movie for you and your spouse, your significant other, or your girlfriend, boyfriend. Definitely can do this. But definitely anyone but you. Have you seen it? Did you enjoy it? What did you think of it? Definitely tell me in the comments. If you haven't seen it, will you go see it? And of course, it'll be out on streaming soon enough. This is definitely worth a date night. If you want to get out the house and definitely check out a romantic comedy, I think it is, one of the top tier romantic comedies of the year. This wasn't a big year for romantic comedies. It's kind of been on decline. And a lot of those romantic comedies are going to streaming services. But this one is definitely worth getting out the house to go check it out in the movie theater. I enjoyed it. I think if you like romantic comedies, you will too. It's very funny. It's more of the comedy than the romance portion, I thought. But definitely worth a watch. And if you haven't seen it already, let me know if you plan on seeing it. Because of this review, that would be awesome if you do. But if you've already seen it, let me know what you thought of it. Did you think it was terrible? Did you think it was cringy, like the young kids like to say? There was one joke in the movie about the word cringe that I thought was probably the funniest part of the movie. But Anyone But You, have you seen it? Of course. Shameless plug of my first live stream coming up next Wednesday, 5 p.m., December 27th, 5 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with my boy Kenny Sparks. I look forward to this so much. I can't wait to see everyone there. Let's talk about the year of 2023 in movies. We'll talk about our top 10s, top 15s, top 20s. I don't think this movie cracked the top 10, but it was a very good movie to me. Till next time, I'll catch you later. It's definitely your boy T.